Hello Bookish babes, my name is Summer and welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you are new here, so am I. So let's read and grow together, shall we? I think we shall. I have a nice cup of tea here with a cute little foamy top. I don't know if you can see it, but cheers. Delicious. Today I am gonna do my February wrap up. Technically this was supposed to be a reset wrap up vlog, except I did recently get my foot broken, so reset just didn't really happen too much. But we will hopefully be doing a reset. I don't plan on doing solo wrap ups. I do want to add them into a reset slash wrap up vlog, but you know, life be lifin', so we're just gonna take the blows as they come. I don't really mean that, but like, you know, we're just gonna roll with the punches is the freaking saying. Anywho, let's talk about my February reads. This month, in February, I read 8 books, and I am personally very happy with that number. I know that on BookTube, that is not the biggest number, but for me, that's a good time. That's a good amount of reads for me, and I hope that we continue just to excel at that number or maintain, you know. But anyways, let's get talking about the actual books I read this month. The first one I read was Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Basilacqua. I'm gonna butcher that name and I'm so sorry, but it's here. I rated this 2.5, rounded up to a 3-star. This book I read for one of my reading vlogs where I paired 3 books with 3 drinks that I thought went well with them, and then read the first chapter of each book and then decided what book I wanted to read from that. And I landed on Tender is the Flesh. And this book was deeply disturbing. I knew it was going to be disturbing because it's about you're following a man who lives in a dystopia world who works in a human meat processing plant, and then you just go from there. And so I knew there was going to be like a disturbing element to it, but man oh man, that ending. Wow. It left me reeling for a little while. Okay, so book number 2 is Phantasm by Kylie Smith, which is book number 1 in the Wicked romance series. We're following the main character who is going through some family tragedy. And right after some family tragedy happens, she's taking on the family like curse slash magic. More magic. I don't think she considers it a curse, but I think like her sister does. And so the sister and her find out that her mother is in some debt and they're about to lose their family house. So in order to not let that happen, the sister enters into Phantasm, which is this game, like really dangerous game competition where if you win, you are granted 1 wish by the devil himself, or a devil, I guess, because in this universe there's multiple devils, I believe. But when our main character finds out that the sister entered, she like freaks out and she goes and enters as well to try to save her sister. Within the house, she meets a phantom and a sexy, steamy romance ensues. Even though I called part of what was happening from the prologue, I still loved this book. I had such a good time with it, and I did a 24-hour readathon on this book. So if you're interested in my like in-depth thoughts, I highly recommend you go check that out, and I will link it down below. The next book I read that was The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human by Kimberly Lemmings, and this is book 3 in the Mead Mishap series. And this one follows our main character, our male main character, who is a dragon, who's been part of this series up until this point. He's ready to find his mate, so he goes off on a quest and immediately stumbles upon a human who needs a little saving. And these books are so freaking cute, adorable, a little bit cheesy, but 4-star read for me. I'm absolutely obsessed with this story. I'm absolutely obsessed with just everything that they're just so fun and cute and adorable and very obsessed worthy. They're very light, cozy reads. So if you're needing something lighthearted or something to just take you through a palette cleanser or whatever, this is the book for you. I gave it 4 stars. Love this series, and I hope more is coming. Also, one of my favorite lines that the male main character says, he's a dragon, so he has some control over the weather, but when he gets a little agitated, so does the weather. And one of my favorite lines in this book was, "Great, now I'm storming." And I just was I just found that so cute, so adorable, and so silly. All right, moving on to book number 4, which was Wild Love by Eliza Silver, and this is book 1 in the Rosie Hill series. This book follows our main female character who left for the big city when she was younger, and you know, something happens that really devastates her and really really affects her. So she goes home back to her family farm in Rose Hill, and she basically meets back up with her brother's best friends, and well, a love interest romance sparks, of course. And I absolutely am obsessed with Ford Grant, okay? I love him. And if you want to know my full thoughts on this book and the next one, I did a whole Valentine's Day reading vlog on these 2 books, and so I think you would love it. So I highly recommend you check that one out as well, and I'll have it linked down below. So that leads me, oh, and yeah, clearly that was a 5-star read, okay? Now that leads me to the next read, which was book number 5. And of course, that was Wild Love by Eliza Silver, book 2 in the Rose Hill series. And Weston, man, did I think Ford Grant had my heart? Damn, did you just come in and say, hey, but I'm here too. Wow, Eliza Silver can write a romance, but one of my favorite things about her writing is the way she writes the relationships that the adults have with the children. They're so precious, they're so sweet and caring and loving, and it was quite a beautiful 2 books that I read. Also a 5-star read, and if you want my full thoughts on how I really felt, please check out that reading vlog. Moving on to book 6. That would be First Time Caller by B.K. Boysen, and this one I rated 3.5, rounded up. This one I read right after coming off of Eliza Silver's Wild Love and Wild Eyes. Maybe not the best choice, because this was a very cute, silly, fun romance. You're following Adian Valentine, who is the host of a love romance radio show, and the female main character's daughter calls into the show. I just realized I'm really bad at remembering the female main characters, and I feel like that is fucked up. But yeah, but the female main character calls in the female main character's daughter calls into the radio show because she's worried about her mother. And yeah, then a whole plot is designed to help mom find love. But love might be sitting right next to her in the booth. So it was super cute and super adorable, but did it compare to Eliza Silver? No. So am I going to continue this series when the next book comes out in the Heartstring series? 100%. I had a lot of fun. I think it's adorable, quick palette cleanser books, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Moving on to book 7 is going to be Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle, and this one is following your male main character whose name is Misha, and he is a Hollywood writer, and he is told pretty much that he needs to kill off his main characters who are gay because the ratings tell him to do so. And he's like, no, fuck you. No, I'm not doing that. And what happens after that is wild. And as far as horrors go, this is so interesting. This was such a unique horror. This is such new for the time and very at the moment horror, I would say. And I had so much fun with this one. I gave this one 4 stars. This one was a lot of fun. Very gruesome, but in the best ways. And it kept me so engaged, and I just couldn't wait to figure out what was happening and what was going on, really. And yeah, when it all came out, I was like, oh, I love it. So I had a really good time with that one. And stay tuned because I have another reading vlog coming out with this one as well, and it'll be posted probably sometime this week. The last book I read in February was Mr. Magic by Kirsten White. And unfortunately, I did not like this book. I rated it 2 stars, but basically you're following the main character who was basically a child actor on a kids show back in the day, and a reunion's happening, and she ends up at this reunion, and things just are weird and creepy and unsettling, and you start to know something's not right with the show and how it ended and stuff like that. And so this is a story where you go through it, but yeah, I just personally, this was not for me, but it could definitely be for someone else. I know the ratings on Goodreads were very mixed, and I could see why some people really enjoyed it and it was something that they connected to. But to me, it did a lot of, in the middle of the book, this book was 288 pages and it felt far too long because it was just like doing a lot of telling and not showing, if that makes any sense. But like I said, that's just my personal opinion. It does not mean it was something like a bad book or you wouldn't enjoy it. You could totally enjoy it. It just wasn't for me. But that is the end of what I read in February, and I am so curious to know what you read in February, so you should definitely let me know down below. And if you haven't already, I highly suggest you subscribe and follow me on my reading journey, and let's read and grow together. All right, well, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and see you next time. Bye.